Avinash Tiwary, Kritika Kamra Nivedita Bhattacharya and Amyra Dastur. Welcome to all of you. The trailer looks super powerful, super impressive. We can't wait for the 40. May I request you please step forward a little so we could set the stage for a nice chat and get more details, insights about Bambai Meri Jaan. It was early, no problem. Yeah. A little music and would be nice. I'd also like to invite Ritesh, Qasim, Sushant and Aparna back on stage. We'll drop a little later. We will. Yeah, I request please be seated, take your seats so we could have a... Thank you so much. Thank you. May I just hand it over to somebody here. Mike. Thank you. Pehla to badaiyan. Congratulations to all of you to the trailer launch, and we love the trailer. Did we? Yes. How do we appreciate it? With a huge round of applause and welcome them. Thank you. Okay, sir. Today's सवाल जवाब आप सभी के साथ, starting with you. We'd all love to know more about your character. You played a role of cop many a times earlier as well. How is Ismail Qadri different from the previous characters that you've played?
I've actually... Is it working? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I've actually said this many a time. तो जिन्होंने सुना है बोर मत होना. I normally play people. I don't play roles. So अक्सर क्या होता है कि जब हम बोलते हैं कि हम कॉप का रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं, तो आपने देखा होगा कि एक ज़माने में दायां हाथ बायां हाथ सामने करके दायां हाथ से लकड़ी मारते हैं और बोलते हैं कि 19 तारीख की रात को तुम कहाँ थे, है ना? तो वो कॉप का रोल हो गया. But I normally play people, so no two persons are the same in this world. There can be a limited number of roles. There can be 25,000 roles, for example, a cop, a professor, lawyer, whatever. But each person is different, so I tend to play that person more than the role. So if I played a cop before, I've played that person. So once upon a time, Rakesh Maria is different from a Ismail Qadri, who is different from a Mansoor Dalal in Farzi. So I tend to play people, so automatically it becomes different.
And you're a natural, and we love you for that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Avinash, my question's for you. You've been on a roll, especially in crime drama series, but in this show, it really seems like you're going to hit the ball out of the park, because we want to know, how was your experience playing Dara Qadri? Also tell us a bit about your character.
First of all, thank you so much for this. Good afternoon, everyone who's present here. Thank you for being here. I think when the script came to me, when Shujat sir sat down with me and started sharing about what the show is all about, honestly, as an actor, I was shitting bricks. I didn't know if I had the capability to pull this off. But the fact was, what really excited me was the fact that this guy came from hunger and took those ladders to finally come to a position of power. That, I think, was something which really excited me. The whole journey of how they traverse, and he becomes what he becomes. Yes, he is a gangster. He has his own consequences for the actions that he takes. But the internal story, the story of the family, the relationships, those were the things that really, really made me feel that this is going to be an immersive experience, and I'm just glad I'm a part of it. I got a chance to play this guy who's apparently Mumbai ka Naya Badshah. He's pretty cool, right?
Mumbai ka naya badshah kaun? Avinash. So thank you and wishing you the best for this
Thank
film.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now, the gangster story has some very, very powerful female characters, and we would like to hear from the women of Bambai Meri Jaan, and starting with Kritika. Good to see you. Now, John, check. You want to
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Hi.
Thank
Good to see you.
Likewise. Now, Bambai Meri Jaan has such strong male characters. How was it to be a part of it? And as we just saw in the trailer, this is completely different, a completely badass avatar, if I must say, that you have. We are seeing of you, so we want to know more about that.
Absolutely. The show Bambai Meri Jaan is about, focuses on these strong male characters, but believe me, the women in the show are also very, very strong and powerful. And like you said, I mean, a badass character is very delicious. Ask any actor, it's the most fun to play. And this is the first time I am playing something, a character that's doing these badass things. And that's what made it most exciting for me, actually, because I'm the good girl always. So thank you, Shujat sir, for seeing the bad in me and, thinking of me making me a part of this epic saga.
We look forward to that new avatar of yours and wishing you the best.
Me too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Nivedita ma'am, my question's for you. You play Sakina, the mother, the pillar of the house, trying to keep everyone together. A little more about your character, if you could please tell us.
Yes, hello, namaste everyone. First of all, I'd like to say Sakina, when she happened to me, I wasn't prepared for Sakina to happen to me. But when she did, I'm so glad that Sakina happened. And thank you, Shujat, for having faith in me as Sakina. Sakina, can I say something? When the script came to me, I think I briefly had mentioned to Shujat, but my take when the script came to me, I thought it's a love story. Backdrop में सब कुछ चल रहा है, गुंडागर्दी, मार पिटाई, everything, but primarily it's a love story. It is. So Sakina is the one who, जिसके लिए family बहुत important है, her love for her husband, her love for her son. The whole thing is for her family, her house, everything is what Sakina's world is all about. What's happening outside is just maybe a byproduct of what's happening in the house for her, Sakina. So, so for me, I just looked at it as a beautiful love story, and the backdrop is the world of crime.
Now, resist करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ पर हो नहीं रहा है. ये सवाल पूछना बनता है कि how was it working with your husband, KK sir, yet again?
पहले तो मैं ये बोल दूँ कि me becoming Sakina, I don't know if I could have been a better or a worse Sakina based on who my screen husband is going to be. But yes, having said that, having KK as my co-actor has of course been bonus. And we have worked long time back like earlier, but to work together after after like really long time, it's been great. And to have someone who is so invested in the story, not only in his character, but the larger picture, it's always a bonus. And of course, since KK was there, I was trying to impress him a bit. So I think I must have done a job somewhere where these Shujata and KK team is happy. Yeah, it was great.
But it definitely adds the bonus to Bambai Meri Jaan, and we're looking forward to the couple back again on screen. So
I would want to add this. It was not just her trying to impress KK sir.
All
Every
of us
actor
were.
on the set was trying to impress KK sir. But KK sir was trying to impress.
अब
अच्छा शो के बारे में बात करें.
coming back to Bambai Meri Jaan, we've learned a lot about the Kadri family. Amyra, my question's for you. काफी कुछ जान लिया कादरी family के बारे में. Now we hear you play a very pivotal role in Dara's life. Tell us a little more.
So my character's name is Pari, and I think she's sort of grown up with the entire family in her own way, and she has a very special connection with Dara. And I think through that connection, you see a very different side of Dara, and I think she brings a very sweet innocence to that relationship, and I just think it's very beautiful how it pans out in the end. So yeah, it's a sweet little connection.
I'm waiting for some beans to be spilled somewhere. Can't wait. 10 days to go, but I'll have to wait.
He learnt a lot. I taught him a lot. Don't worry.
But all the best. Congratulations. Next question for both Sujat and Renzel. We just spoke to the amazing cast. Now, how did you bring this talented ensemble cast together, and what was the casting process like?
Well, yeah, the very interesting anecdotes to everyone's casting, actually. Avinash suffered a lot because before I locked onto him, there was an 8-month period while I was flirting with other actors. But there's something that I saw in his screen test that he did, which always remained with me, and I just could not shirk that off. And I thought he would be the perfect guy, because there were many auditions and there were lots of actors that, of course, we auditioned for the part. There was something that was special. I could never put my finger on it, but I knew that he would be the guy. And of course, with Renzel, discussions with Renzel in terms of the character and the development, and when we sat through that, it really worked out fantastically. Interesting one about KK as well is that I had initially approached him for another character for the show, and he read the script and he said, "I want to come and meet you," and I said, "Of course." Another interesting thing that KK and I have been trying to work for the last 20 odd years, but it has never gone through, and I was really, really desperate to work with him on this one. And he met me and he said, "What about Ismail's character? Have you cast it for him?" I said, "No, not yet." So he's like, I would be really kind of keen, and I thought that was fantastic of him, because the character has multiple shades. It's not a very black and white narrative that Renzel and the writers have put together. It plays in the gray areas. What is really interesting is that we have stripped people of the labels of relationship and treated them as individuals. So it is a man versus man, not necessarily a father versus father. So the power dynamics really kind of change. It so happens to be about providing. The one who provides becomes, the alpha of the family, and how those dynamics change between two men, and the repercussions that the family as well as the city on a macro level has to suffer. So that is what it's about. Pari, of course, was fantastic because we wanted to cast a
You made me
Parsi
audition
girl.
3 times.
Yes.
3 times.
Yes, we did. And Nivedita is wonderful. She's a great theatre actor, and we thought, and I saw her audition, and I knew that she would be, because there was a very specific kind of language that everyone needed to speak to transport into the authenticity of the world in terms of the community as well. Kritika was the last one to come on board, and this was post the first wave of COVID. And I must say, I've really been fortunate and blessed to have the entire cast, not just the ones who are sitting on stage, also the ones who are sitting in the audience and who are not here. I think each one of them, Abbas Dalal, who worked on the body language workshops, how they would walk, how they would sit, also in terms of the language. So there was a really tight brief given to everyone that you are the hero of your story. So let's not try and outdo each other.
Although yes, I'm sure the actors would want to impress KK, but each one has done a magnificent job. I think once you all watch the series, you'll understand the dynamics of it.
Thank you, and we can't wait for the layers to unfold. And what are your views on the same, the entire casting process?
Well, I think when Shujat is quite a taskmaster. He looks very serene and calm right now in this denim jacket, but he's quite a taskmaster, and he doesn't settle on things easily, and I like that about him. I really think and I keep telling him, you shot this like a dream, and he's not one to take the easy way out. So everyone on the stage really has reached this stage. I mean, they're obviously brilliant actors, but I think it was painstakingly done, this period of choice, and I think it's paid off in spades.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and Ritesh and Kasim, my next question is for you. The show, as from the start, we're saying that we presented in over 30 languages all over the world. What are the expectations, and how do you feel about that?
As a genre, crime drama, gangster stories, they cut across diaspora. We've all grown up on various crime story in various different languages. We were very confident when we were making this that it's going to sort of cut across Indian diaspora and go far and wide. Amazon Prime has been great partners, and they're sort of leaving no stone unturned to put this out there in a big way. Thanks to the entire team.
Thank you, Ritesh.
Yeah, like, I think what Amazon has managed to do is this time, I think the language, dubbing it in so many languages. I think because there is, it's not that every show lends itself. I think like Kasim said, Aparna earlier, that it's just the genre goes and sits in the forefront of what people like consuming in the format we are in. And if it has a possibility, which we all believe, that it can go out of the diaspora. And I think with what happens is with language also, there are a lot of people sometimes with the subtitles don't get into it. There are a section. So I think they are even now going within those 240 countries to try to get in that audience. Maybe they would not want to. I'm sure it's subtitled in a lot of languages as well. So I think it gives it. And if you have I think what happens is you have an opportunity with an amazing story like this, written by Hussain Saab, who's here. And you have such amazing actors. So you have an opportunity of taking your talent both in front and behind the camera and showcasing it to a global audience. So I think, yeah, my expectation is after the 14th in 1 week, Aparna calls me up and says, Ritesh, do season 2 and 3 immediately. That's the plan.
Partners in Prime, going global. Correct. Hand in hand. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah. Congratulations on that. Renzo, coming back to you, tell us about the world building of the show. What the research was undertaken, the entire creative process of building Mumbai of the 70s, and the characters, the looks, the different arcs the series has.
I think one of the high points of this show is and I think that's where the genesis of the name also comes. When you say Bambai Meri Jaan, is that it's not just a crime thriller, it's also chronicling the rise of the city and hence the organized crime within the city. So as the city kind of sprawled out through the decades, so did, these fiefdoms, these gangs. You see the turf wars between them, and finally you reach the point after the 60s and the 70s to the 80s where you actually have the beginnings of what you can now call organized crime. So I think the world building, a lot of it is, while it's a fictional show, a lot of it is also in the public domain. And I think people like Shujat and me are Bombay boys. We've heard this as we've been growing up, right? We've heard these stories about these gangsters. We've heard the story about the underbelly. And so when we create this piece, this fictional piece, I think the world building is something we've lived with. So it comes easily to us. And also there is then, a lot of crime reportage that you can delve into and, use to kind of build the building blocks of this world. As far as these characters and the look of these characters go, I think Shujat is actually a better person to ask about this.
Yeah. In terms of creating the visual world, there was extreme amount of detailing for sure, because we wanted to transport the audience to believe that it is happening during that era. That was really essential. The genesis of it, of course, came from Hussain Zaidi Saab, whose story it is based on. We all know what a commendable journalist he is and what a career he's had. But the visual world coming together was very painstakingly intricate. My production designer, Nitin Gaikwad, my costumier, Ziba Mirai, the hair, makeup, specialist, Melanie D'Souza, everyone to come together to make it feel like it is from that era and not to act out. I have a huge problem in that sense, purely as a viewer. For period pieces, I see also actors acting period. I don't know, that's strange. So we did a lot of extensive workshops with everyone in terms of body language and the language, spoken language. So we wanted it to feel organic, that these guys are not aliens in the 60s and they're not like really different from what we are right now. So the emotions ride in the same way. A lot of research of 60s, 70s Bombay. Also a mammoth set, as I mentioned, which was put up because to shoot period, Mumbai is not the most friendly city because it's always growing in such a way. So hard work of